Mitravan Bandhuvam, welcome to South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel, which brings you South Asia centric culture, geography, heritage to you. But I will also be posting the certain related topics of the world history, geography, heritage, and this series playlist is under Human Ecology, part 35. So always look for this particular part and you can go back the previous ones or the next ones. Human ecology, human predicament, that's the dilemma, catch-22 position. Dr. Catton's monumental work based upon his book Overshoot, that's the population overshoot on the planet Earth, more burden than the carrying capacity of the planet Earth. Bottleneck century is the 21st century, is the bottleneck century we are facing now. And the modes of adaptation to ecologically inexorable change. Inexorable means inevitable. You cannot avoid. Human has to pass away after like 85, 90 years. That is inexorable. You cannot avoid it. Same situation here. Post-exuberant era. That is essentially exuberance is from 1500 to 2000. Era of prosperity. We are in 21st century. That is post-exuberant era. Post-exuberant time. There are 5 modes of adaptation: realism, cargoism, cosmeticism, cynicism I talked about. The 5th adaptation is ostracism. You can see ostrich bird here. The definition, valid definition, we look at it in detail. This is the part 35. And if you are not aware, I strongly urge Mitravan Bandhuvam, and this is my main YouTube channel, South Asia Maps, Dr. J. Reddy. That is the playlist here. There are more than 30 or so meticulously made playlists. 30 playlists holding round about 250 videos, each round about 15 minutes or more. That brings you very deep analysis of many aspects or concepts, not just like 2, 3, 4 minutes presentation and going. That will give you the entire bird's eye view. That's why I started this playlist for you to understand. Because this is a human ecology, I will be putting in this playlist. You see the human ecology here. There are already 30 or so. There are other playlists like agriculture, human population. I will add more. Jannat visa. That is essentially executions by in the closed society, Islamic society, especially at the time of Mughal Empire and so on. That is the Sistrans districts, the British Raj in the province, Darshani horses, Arabic horses. In politics, de facto rulers, de jure rulers. The state of Maharashtra and Bihar, United Provinces, Uttar Pradesh, natural boundaries, deserts, mountains and rivers and so on. The Utkal, Orissa, Kalinga, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, northwestern frontier province, Pakhtunkhwa, Khyber, Sarihad Shuba, United Provinces, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Assam. Islam, the militant conversion-based ideology that is bothering the native people a lot. Now I discussed extensively that aspect, ideological aspects of it. Pakistan, Bengal region, ceded districts of fascinating Realism, that is southwestern part of Andhra Pradesh, today Simandhra or Andhra Telugu land. World geography, the geographical areas of the planet Earth made very easy for you to understand. World geography, historical regions of many, Maratha Empire, the treaties of India, the railway history of India, the districts of India, there are 34 there, districts of Pakistan, Bangladesh, our alienated western eastern, that is across the red cliff line, the Allah's land, the Darul Islam, Darul Harb, Momins and Kafis, those are our people, Punjabis, Sindhis and Baluchis, Pashtuns, alienated by the militant ideology of Islam, their districts, Punjab history, Punjab region. So there are many, you can go and look at them. And this is the main, the Twitter site, India Maps 2 is the handle, you can also find me there. And this is Dr. Catton's book, Overshoot, and sequel, Bottleneck, Overshoot book, who was a professor of ecology at Washington State University. I think he passed away around about 5 or 6 years before. And at Pullman, that is Washington State University, east of Cascade Mountains. And we are talking about 5 modes of, before that I also had a series of, so far this is the 34th presentation, 35th presentation, Ostracism, and I already organized them. Here I am putting you for your perusal, so that at one place you can see if you have missed any of them, you can go and look at them so that you will get a very deeper understanding. If you follow all my videos on human ecology end to end, you will see how the planet Earth is running. You will not be just carried away by the political leaders, organizations, the vocabulary. You will see how the system runs ecologically. That's why Dr. Catton's Overshoot book is considered to be very monumental book by the scientific community. So some of the five topics here, 10th topic, 15th, 20, 25, 30. This is 35th. Ostracism is a carrying capacity, taking over, drawing down, new world, detritus ecosystems, ecological acreages, low pressure regions like Alaska, Australia, and Siberia that cannot have much carrying capacity. Population doublings, very important. 10 doublings. I also later one more presentation for recent doubling. That means from 500 million people at the voyage time, discovery time, 1500. AD is 500 million people, 0.5 billion people. The first doubling, 1 billion, 1818. Second doubling, the World War II, 1919. Then the third doubling, 1974, that is the Watergate era or Malus-Nixon's time. Then we have 8 billion, that's a monumental doubling. That's not a small thing. A lot of people think 8 billion, so that's a very serious issue. So I talked about American dream, non-competitive, the lifestyles that has founded on carrying capacity deficits that many people still are not aware. They are talking about a lot of American education, American economy. What are the issues there? Not political, but ecological perspective. The subalterns, Canadian dream, Australian dream, all founded lack of carrying capacity surplus. That's the concept. And 6 continents. We have 8 billion humans. How to remember them easily? It's very, very important. Once you understand the population, you will understand all the issues humanity facing. Not political. These political issues are just symptoms. Fighting, the wars, the agitations, the caste-based reservations, the politics, the promises, freebies, all that external. The ecology is the basic. Ecological overshoot, ecological bloom, ecological crisis, the die-off, that is the lessening of the population. Bloom is the eruption of the yeast in the rainwater humans on the planet Earth. From 8 billion when the agriculture started in 8000 BC, that's 8000 before and 2000. Within 10,000 years, the population became 8 million to 8,000 million. That is an enormous number. That is not a small number. I discuss about that. And so I will post the remaining videos very soon, update, and you can follow them. So just I listed here, I already have the thumbnails and the material made, but I have to present and I have to record it. That will take some time. So that is about the overall human ecology. There are 5 modes of adaptation. Post-exuberant era. Exuberance is from 1500, the discovery of the New World, to 2000. Is it exactly 500? That's not a critical in the human history, but broadly. Anything after 2000 is a post-exuberant era. In this post-exuberant era, there are ecologically inexorable changes that are not avoidable. How humans are adapting, how humans believe. So if you meet any of your friends, you can categorize them in these 5 categories. After the presentation, you will know. These 5 categories I have put for your convenience, iconographic form. Remember real, remember cargo, a cosmetics, cynics, ostrich. So this is the realism, the old world, new world. The new world now is overpopulated by Homo Colossus. It is essentially old world. There are not many job opportunities, employment there. That is the realism. This icon. Then cargo, coming in a ship, Cargoism. Recycling, I put it as a cosmetic, is a no real value, but lot of people think that is really has an importance, like the green buses and all those things, the bags going to the grocery store instead of taking the plastic, those type of things. Cosmetic, recycling. Cynic, I put this emoji for you. This is of course the bird, ostrich, that is today's presentation, 35th. Ostracism. You remember these 5 icons, you will get the entire concept very clearly that Dr. Catton wants the human, especially the political leaders, opinion makers, intellectuals, to understand, communicate this to the rest of the people so that they can understand and behave properly. That is the 35th past, Ostracism. Just so I have highlighted this Ostracism here. This is the icon that represents 8 billion humans, resource depleted world. This is our main channel icon. We are talking about human impasse, predicament, part of human ecology, ostracism. Just a definition. Ostracism is a bird. Suppose to it puts its head in the sand, doesn't see anything. That is the ostrich, ostracism. A belief, obstinately persistent belief, is a myth that the world is limitless. Remember, ostracism is the world is limitless. World is flat. It's not like it's not circle. The world is limitless. It's like a globe, it's a sphere. They don't believe that. The myth is a limitless, unrealistic supposition that nothing basic has changed in the planet Earth. Refusal to place that the limitlessness is still valid. Limitlessness is still valid, was valid and still valid. So that's what ostracism, they don't think about. Essentially, they think our forefathers lived, their forefathers lived, and we are living. What is the change? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any change. Your concept of the limitlessness or limited planet does not matter. That is the essence of ostracism. Ostracism means they do not consider the world is a limited in nature, limited in diameter, limited in natural wealth, the arable land, the oil, the coal, and so on. That is the essential nature of the point. So all these 5 isms, adaptations, we have organized, Dr. Catton organized, I put it here, little more detail. Circumstance, what is the consequence, what is the adaptation, what is the name, of course, is ostracism. Adaptation is essentially definition. What is the circumstance means? If you remember this, it will be very clear. This is essentially circumstance. The age of exuberance is over. That means the old world, new world, 500 years. 8 billion humans are already here. 8 billion humans are already here. That means the planet Earth has overshot, overloaded with Homo Colossus, gigantic human beings above the carrying capacity that the planet Earth can support. The prodigal means resource consuming, extravagant. Homo sapien, that is Homo Colossus, has drawn down the resources of the planet Earth already. cut the forest, already taken over the arable land, depleted the coal, oil, natural gas, petroleum. That will be terminated very soon, within 2, 3, 4 decades. The drawing down the saving deposit, that is the circumstance. They deny the circumstances. They really doesn't care about the population or drawing down, going down, taking away. Those concepts they deny. That is Ostracism. That means they have buried their head inside the sand. They don't take notice of it, essentially. Consequence means Dr. Catton predicts that human organization has to change, human behavior has to change. What is human organization? The government, the welfare state, the free base, reservations in India, certain privileges, and aviation and transportation, economy, human behavior, our high aspirations, all has to change because the planet is finite in resources. It is 40,000 kilometers from Singapore to Singapore on equator, 132 million square kilometers. You can put 132 or 135 Egypts in the entire planet. Land mass that is limited in habitat is not limitless. That is, they deny this. They really doesn't worry about. They deny the circumstance. They deny the consequence. That is the adaptation. Just essentially definition. The ostracism, some people stubbornly insist, assumption that the planet Earth is limitless. They do not consider, they don't even take that consideration. They stubbornly insist this assumption is, they say the planet is, there's no limitlessness on the planet. That's still valid, was valid, and this is still valid. That means there is a plenty of things you can do. Planet is unlimited, essentially. That's what they consider. So among the 5 isms, this is the 4th ism. So we covered essentially broadly before the age of exuberance. I have put it exuberant human being. Ecological exuberance in the New World for 500 years gives social exuberance, political exuberance, emotional exuberance. Part 6 we discussed extensively. Then the Homo Colossus is a gigantic human being, a resource-consuming prodigal, very big human being. Is genetically same as a normal human being, a person like a farmer in the Indian village or Africa, consuming very least resources, walking, no automobiles, nothing. So that we discussed. Homo Colossus, Homo sapiens. We discussed about the drawing down of the resources, minerals, metals in part 3. I discussed about other like carrying capacity, means the number of people who can be supported indefinitely. That is important. The today planet Earth is supporting 8 billion. That is not the true carrying capacity. That is phantom carrying capacity, ghost carrying capacity. I discussed some other presentation. You can look at it. So that is essentially adaptations of the human being to the post-exuberant era, post-exuberant circumstances, that is after 2000 AD. 5-part, 35th presentation of human ecology, 5th part of adaptation. Your presenter J. Reddy, Dr. J. Reddy brought to you. And Mitram and Bandhuvam, if you like the presentations, please subscribe the YouTube channel and bring this information content to your friends' consideration. Also post your comments or compliments, criticisms, suggestions freely, so that I will know what you are looking for and I can bring certain those things, take into consideration your interest too. So thank you very much. See you later. This is your presenter Dr. J. Reddy at South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriya channel. Talked about adaptations of post-exuberant industrial societies, 5 ways. Ostracism today.